We actually did a ton of research on the fugue state. It all started, we read a newspaper article about a guy who was 18 years old, and he had been missing for how many years? Oh, 3 months. 3 months. And nobody found him, and he ended up being found on an airplane with a backpack full of bubble gum. And that kind of sprung us into this, oh my gosh, this fugue state is so interesting. People can live 2 different lives. And then we did a ton of research on what happens during fugue states. And then we actually met someone in Cannes when we were just there. And he had watched the film, and he said, I can't believe he went through a fugue state. And he said, it's so interesting because, you know, those different hallucinations, visual hallucinations, audio hallucinations, and that high pitch ringing, and that kind of fast memory flashes, and those like kind of blanketed memory flashes. He was like, I experienced those in real life. And Tim and I were like so excited that somebody that actually went through it watched the film, because it was the first time somebody came up to us and said, I went through a fugue state, and that's what I was feeling like. Confused, I had pain in my head, and it was the first time we had actually met someone that went through it. So we did a lot of research, and then we just met our first fugue state person that came up to us and said, oh my gosh, this happened to me. It's really interesting.
Oh, yes.
The cream-colored El Camino
Yes.
movie, is that the same as the one in Gravy Train?
That cream-colored El Camino has actually been a mainstay in some Wango productions. That used to belong to April's sister, Melanie, and then it changed hands somewhere along the line.
But then it's really hard to find El Caminos like that with that much character. The Buick Riviera and then the Red Mustang, all of which are family members and family owned. It's hard to find really cool, old, unique cars and tell them that it's going to be in a movie, but it's going to be safe. But we were lucky enough to have those kind of characters. All those kind of visual aesthetics really add to the film, and they're kind of like their own character in the film, the cars. And Tim and I both love unique cars. We have like a Ford LTD that was in our first 3 films. A bloody Winnebago was in Dead Before Dawn. So we kind of have, we love vehicles.
It's a funny thing actually when writing scripts. I don't usually get too descriptive anymore in scripts when I'm writing them, but for one reason or another,
Yeah, right.
whenever I'm writing scripts, I find that whatever the car that one of the main characters is driving, I'm always like very specific. I don't know with what car I want in the film when I'm writing it. No idea why.
You see them around town.
Yeah.
All those cars are local, so you'll see them around town.
Very true. Any other questions out there? Yes.
Were any of the songs, which I love the soundtrack, were any of the songs written specifically for the film?
Yes. Okay, so a lot of the songs in the feature are local musicians. They're unbelievable. And yes, several songs were written specifically for the film. So that chanting kind of theme, that chanting we took from Petra, which was a Toronto artist, and then we made our sort of own chanting to pepper throughout the film in the score. That's just kind of a sound. And then the French song is by Frank Pietrangelo. That French song is about, the lyrics is about forgetting and remembering and forgetting yourself. And then Come Be With Me Love, that song was written for the film, which is the trigger song that brings her to and from the fugue state, that wakes her up out of the fugue state, and is a song that plays when he gets shot. That was written by Laurel Cole, who's in Toronto, but Hamilton. And Peter Katz also wrote the song when she has a breakdown and throws everything on the floor and screams. That was written specifically to that scene. So the scene was edited first, and we gave him the footage, and we told him kind of the lyrics we wanted to use. So yeah, all the music in the whole film is original, and some of the songs were written purely for the film. It is an amazing soundtrack. We feel really excited by it.
Do you have plans to work with Christopher Lloyd again? Because you guys are amazing together.
Oh, thank you.
With Christopher Lloyd, do you plan on working with him again?
Oh, yes. Christopher Lloyd, we plan on working with him again. Really quick, brief history on Christopher Lloyd. He started he was in our first, or our last feature film, Dead Before Dawn 3D, and he played this crazy, eccentric occult shop owner, and he was fantastic, and we had always wanted to work with him, and it took us a long time to get Christopher for Dead Before Dawn, and then we finally got him up here when he read the script, he loved it, he came up, we worked with him, we realized that he is an amazing human being, one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. He's actually very soft-spoken and reserved in real life, and he reads a lot of books, and he's very quiet. And when we had him on Dead Before Dawn, I'm like, man, wouldn't it be awesome to bring Christopher Lloyd in for a role more like that, like a more cerebral, gritty, like sort of a, yeah, intellectual type of role. So then we wrote this role specifically for him, sent it to him. He's like, yes, I want to come up right away. Booked him, brought him up. So he loves Niagara Falls. He loves coming up here to shoot. He always talks about how much he enjoys it because it's out of the studio system and it's a lot more relaxed, and he likes the independent nature of making movies up here in Canada. So yeah, anytime we have anybody that's in their 70s or more and has some sort of unique elements in a script, we definitely go to Christopher again in every capacity. And behind had a question?
I was going to ask if you had any other choices other than Christopher Lloyd for that role as Cyrus.
Oh, no. It was Christopher from the very beginning, written with him in mind, and always just like Christopher all the way. Yeah.
Good choice.
Thanks.
Just want to know, why 88?
Why 88?
Okay, I've been practicing this. It's going to be great with this voice. Okay, so 88. As we were writing the script, we sort of had a board on our office for 2 years. And the beginning is the ending, and the ending is the beginning. Okay? The first date represents the fugue state, which is, you know her as Flamingo, when she's kind of on the hunt for Cyrus. And the second date is the present state, which is Gwen, the victim running away. And the film goes from fugue to present, to fugue to present, to fugue to present. And it goes from like, at the beginning it's 2-minute increments, 5-minute, then 7, 14, and then like about 22 at the end. And the end is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. So it kind of can go like this. You can actually play it the opposite way too. So it's an 8, an infinity sign. 1 8 represents fugue state, 1 8 represents present state. But that's the meaning behind it. And also, there's tons of, other meanings behind it in the film. Their address is 88, she goes to hotel room 88. But that's it. Does anyone want to know what the milk and bubblegum note that is? Or do people know? It's just, basically when you go into a fugue state, there's pieces from your past that sort of pepper through, and the milk spilling and the bubblegum breaking and spilling all over the place happened when Aster got shot. So she doesn't remember the elements, but those elements happened to her in fugue state with like the gumball in the eye and the milk spilling out of people's mouth are just sort of guilt. All her guilt complex is coming through in different ways, and it's just hallucinations of her guilt because she actually did the deed.
Hand up, red shirt back there.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the bubblegum and milk.
Oh, perfect. He was going to ask about the bubblegum and milk. You read some minds.
Oh yeah, because sometimes, we're always accumulating people always ask. Catherine's really busy, and at the time when she came, she was like so excited to be playing something very dramatic where she got to unleash this flamingo character who's very confident, and then also play a very female sort of victim on the run role, which she doesn't usually get cast as. So she was really, really challenged by the material and found it really exciting. And she was on set, what was it, anti-cap, 12, 13-hour days, and it was really long days. We shot the film in 20 days only, and it's sort of a whirlwind for her because she, in some days, had to go from present to fugue, back to present, back to fugue, and she would slick her hair back and change her clothes, but that's a lot for an actress, and we felt that she did a really seamless job. She had a great team behind her, and she was awesome. She was awesome to work with, a lot of fun, and very focused on the role. Mm-hmm.
Are there any filmmakers or other films that kind of inspired the style of this one that
The question was, are there any other films or particular filmmakers that sort of informed this movie? Okay, yes. There was a lot. April and I just love film of all kinds. Like, we're always just watching as many different films from many different genres at all times. And at any one time, we might be obsessed with one filmmaker or another. Certain cores for us include, we're both David Lynch fans, we're both Coen brother fans, we're both Quentin Tarantino fans, and we love Christopher Nolan. There's tons and tons and tons of different artists that we love. And so this was definitely informed. I mean, we knew we were going to do a story with a fractured timeline. So we, of course, did watch Memento coming into it, even though it's structured much differently than this one. So I wouldn't say that was necessarily an influence, but I'd say it was definitely a reference piece when we were doing it. And I guess naturally we do gravitate to just, the filmmakers we were talking about, but nothing specifically on the writing side.
I was going to say also we're really really big into creators that start a project from beginning, middle, end, like people like Woody Allen or Wes Anderson, you know, people that are very much visionaries and filmmakers. That's sort of where we came from the bottom, and you know, we just kind of learned every single aspect of filmmaking. So we have a lot of respect and love for filmmakers, people like Tim Burton, people that create worlds that kind of live within their voice as filmmakers, and that really inspires us on a day-to-day basis. Yes.
I'm from Niagara Falls, so I had a lot of fun trying to see where you were in the film. And I love the scene in Basil's restaurant. That was just a great scene of fun. I know that place. I've been in that place.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. Now the final scene of the diner, I could see the boat on the other side. Where was that actually shot?
The question was the local places, and the final diner scene, where was that shot? That is at Good Eats, which is really close to the canal. What's the street that's on?
Glendale Avenue.
Glendale Avenue,
Yeah.
yes.
I live near there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes, right on Glendale. And they were fantastic. They let us in there for a whole, were we there a day or 2 days, 2 full days? We were in there shooting, because it was at the opening and the closing. And it was fantastic. And that boat happened just by chance. We were like, we need to get that boat in the shot. So, Tim, just keep running. We're just gonna film you running with the boat in the background, and we'll add the noise later. And we added, but yeah, there was a lot of really great locations.